you see now better mountain Parnassos. You see how.
Delphi, about 3 hours outside of Athens, and I've come on a tour today, day tour. Beautiful, this mountain is really spectacular. I'm going to go into the museum first and learn a bit from the guide.
To be outside of the cemeteries or outside of the temples in order to deter would-be tomb robbers. This is a votive offering from Naxos Island. Naxos is an island in the Aegean Sea. Because I told you that the second temple was destroyed by fire, and of course because of the oil pollution. So that's why the caryatids have been transported inside the new Acropolis Museum and they have been cleaned. Because maybe you have heard that they had a lot of black spots on them because of the fire and because again of the air pollution. So, like the caryatids on Acropolis, also here, because they have been made in 7th century BC, in archaic period, they have two characteristics. The big eyes was a symbol of wisdom. According to myth, Athena was the goddess of wisdom. And the second characteristic was the smirk. Smirk, not a big mouth, not a big smile. And what's the meaning behind that? Like Acropolis, also here, it was a sanctuary. So when they came here, they came in order to offer a sacrificial animal or a gift to the god or to the goddess Athena. So they had to be faithful, but also they had to look like faithful. Like nowadays, if I enter a church, I have to be serious. It means to settle a quarrel between the god Apollo and Hercules. Hercules was very mad because Pythia had denied him an oracle. Why? Because he had just killed his brother-in-law called Iphitos. So he was not being purified in order to get a prophecy. Okay? That's why he was mad, and he was fighting with the god Apollo. And you see Zeus holds the prophetic vessel, the tripod. Do you remember the first one, the small bronze statue? The second depiction of Apollo. So here we see three beautiful busts. Apollo, his twin sister Artemis, the goddess of wild hunting, and also she was the goddess of childhood, and their mother Leto. These were made from ivory, but I told you that the first temple was destroyed by fire, so that's why these are black. And you see how beautifully they have been decorated with golden leaves all around. That's why I told you that this is one of the most valuable votive offerings that they were found close to the temple. Of the god Apollo. It was surrounded by Urus and Neighbors over there. And in the two corners, there is a favorite subject of art from that period of time, a beard which is already have been evolved by a lion. Okay? The god Apollo. Apollo, I remind you, it was the god of sun, music, and soothsaying. He was holding his lyre. Okay? And he was surrounded by muses. Muses were not beautiful daughters of Zeus, and they were considered to be the protectors of art and science, like philosophy, history, and music.
The depiction of Apollo in the classical era.
The next one, the weight of the entire world. It looks like that. Because they wanted to be Parthenon, the symbol of their political prestige, of their political propaganda. Okay? The message was clear. We are the ancient Athenians that we have defeated. The Trojans, the Centaurs, the Amazons, and now the Persians. Always, unfortunately, all around the world, behind politics, there is art and there is a huge ego. Also here, you can understand the huge ego. Here we have an athlete. He was called Aegeas and he was a pagratunist. The three heavy games during the Pan-Hellenic Pythian Games were wrestling, boxing, and pagratun. Okay? I want you please to observe the idealized beauty, the softly sculpted muscles, and generally, as you see, heroic nudity. And why we see this? Because the ancient Greeks used to believe that a healthy mind needs a healthy body. Thus, they always aimed at treating the mind and the body at the same time. And we know that he was a charioteer because if you come from here, there is an X behind him. All the charioteers used to wear this X, and it was called 16. And of course from his horses, okay?
I would definitely recommend getting a guide. It's far more informative, it makes things come alive a lot more. Definitely worth the money. Let's finish with the museum and now we're going to archaeological site.
It was like this. See? So in the open area there was a market where the visitors could purchase offerings for the gods and the objects necessary for the worship. Okay, of the Trojan horse, a bronze replica. This was a votive offering from Sparta, the biggest enemy of the Athenians.
Greeks thought that this was the middle of the world, and so this is meant to be a belly button.
This has been inscribed, as I told you, in ancient Greek, resolutions, name of pawnbrokers, and also two musical texts dedicated to Apollo. If you come closer, you're going to see. One, okay, this is called the column with the serpents. This was a symbol of the fearsome dragon Python, I told you. And on the top there was a golden triple. Can you see? This is replica because the original was transported from here around the 4th century AD from the Christian Emperor Constantinople to Constantinople, nowadays Istanbul in Turkey, in order to decorate the capital of the new Byzantine Empire. Active tectonic zone where two faults intersect, Kerno fault and Delphi fault. So that's why they have found that beneath, inside the secret room, inside the walls, they have been trapped gases like ethane, methane and ethylene, which must have come to the surface with water from the springs that they were all around this area. So that's how Pythia was being in a trance. Okay, and that's why also inside there was a priestess who turned these enigmatic words of Pythia into measure words. From the fee, she had to be young and virgin. But the mask was a symbol of unity in ancient Greeks, a symbol of unity for ancient Greeks, because the man who wore the mask was simultaneously himself and one of the characters of drama. Drama was the creation of Greek spirit. It was born and developed in Athens from the festivals in honor of Dionysus. Pisistratus, the tyrant of the Athenian city-state, he was the first one who established the great Dionysia. These were dramatic contests in which various writers took part, like Aeschylus, Sophocles and Euripides.
The tour guides left us behind, but if you keep walking up the hill, we could do it optionally. 40 minutes round trip, you can go see one of the best preserved stadiums in Greece. So I'm gonna go check it out. Very beautiful sight being up here amongst this towering mountain. You can see why they decided to put the temple here. But a lot of people, I mean, if you think it takes 3 hours to drive here from Athens, you don't want to be walking all the way from Athens. So there is actually a port down there in the Corinth Bay or area. And so a lot of them came on ship and then would walk up here. I need to fact check whether this is where they do the Pythian Games. But if so, it's such a cool view. But man, it's hot. But I guess it's the same with the Olympic Games as well. They're just really used to working out in the heat. The difference with these games though is it's not just physical activity, it was also a celebration of the arts. So you'd have music, I think poetry and theatre as well. This was the site of the Pythian Games, which was only in second importance to that of the Olympic Games. And it ran for 8 days. Judges would sit over there. People would race from that starting point down to the end and get a wreath if they won. The Greeks had this thing where they were really interested in the body and the mind being in balance. And basically the idea of you can't have a healthy mind if you don't have a healthy body. And walking up these hills, I think I kind of understand that mentality. We dropped off here in this beautiful area called Arakova, which is actually a ski resort area, which is just about 20 minutes drive from Delphi, and got an hour and a half here to explore and have some food. Cheapest thing I could find. These are the meatballs for €10. Not very much, but they actually really taste it. Nice herbs. Yum. Arrived back from my bus tour. And there Daniel is getting me a souvlaki. This unassuming truck is the best souvlaki that we've had ever. So good.